The injectors are connected. I got this piece from Eric, the guy I have rented this place with. He had this silicone piece with a T, so I can run the blow-off valve like this. I think I'm gonna connect this over here, or maybe I just block off this piece and this goes into atmosphere, or just not run this silicone hose. I have some wires for fuel pump. I need to change this connector. These are for this connector is a connector for the Haldex controller, the stock one. I only use the 12 volt signal and ground, because on the car I had this on before, an S3, I only used 12 volts and minus, because that's only what it needed to run this type of Haldex controller. I don't have the other connector, so I'm probably gonna cut this and to a new connector. So, just realized I already made a wiring for the starter. I couldn't find connectors in any of these wiring harnesses, so I thought I had not yet wired up the starter, but I already have, because I'm using part of the wiring harness I'm using from the old setup I had in the car. Before this engine, I had a front wheel drive and VR6 engine. It's over here, the 12 valve engine, and I'm using part of that wiring, like for the lights, brake sensor thing, and apparently also the starter. Yeah, that was unnecessary. Now, I know it looks like a rest nest. I am going to try to make this look a little bit better and, you know, not look like this. You know, when you are going to do something and you don't plan it, like you have a vague plan, you often end up doing twice the work or more than necessary. Been trying to get the starter to work. I've done a lot of, you know, some small rewiring, and I found out I had not ground the engine well enough. For the last couple of days I've dealt with this fuel situation and the ECU and some wiring in the engine bay. I think it's now a good time to just This is what had happened. When I first time wired this car with this setup, I had wired the coils and the ground for the engine. I wired in one bolt here. It goes to the engine cylinder cover head thing. I thought this was good enough, but I guess since it's not a good it's not a good ground. So what happened was, when I tried to, you know, see if not fire up the engine, but see if it will turn over, see if I wired and the sensor was working and stuff. This is the same ground. It's connected to the same ground that goes to the head. So everything went through this and fried this wire. So yeah, so this is the leftovers of that wire. This is the plastic isolation. So what I did was I made a new ground to the chassis. So now I have a more beefy wire from the gearbox, and also going through here, bolted up to this, and the wire. And I also have a new wire, the same bolt as before from the head, and it goes now to the gearbox and then connects to this wire and goes to the chassis. Also, I've just mounted up Radiator Fan. Yeah. It's not good, but you know, it's something. I just mounted it, I'm not in wiring. Also, I bought raw AM fittings. This one has not, I don't know what it's called, but it's not the right tip. It's supposed to go outwards, not inwards. I didn't think of that, but Eric, guy I rent this place with, he knows this shit. He knows a thing or two about a thing or two. So now I am waiting on this piece, this AN fitting from AN8 till 8mm, and when I get that part, probably in a few days, I think I can try to start the engine. I think, hopefully. Okay, until next time.